So a warm hand of applause for Ashish.
Okay, so this is a spontaneous speech. I'll try to do my best. I'm curious what comes out when I give it a try. So, as some of you know, last year, somewhere in the middle, I actually decided to become a coach. And I have been in my coach training for the last 1 year. And one of the topics I recently chose some months ago is that I want to work on natural and real charisma with people. So this was like some months ago. I chose it as my niche. And so I gave it some thought, some last few months. What do I mean by like natural and real charisma? And I actually broke it down into 3 layers, which goes into many, many sub-layers. But just to introduce my concept in 5 minutes, the 3 layers are, one is uniqueness, one is compassion, and the third is aliveness. So these are the 3 layers: uniqueness, compassion, and aliveness, the third one. Now, what I see as charisma is, a lot of people think that they have some myths about charisma when I talk to people. So one is they feel that charisma is something you're born with, but you cannot really develop in yourself. So there are like some fortunate few who have it, and some who don't have it. I absolutely contest this myth, because what I feel is, an average, I mean, if you just look at humans, they are sitting on top of so much untapped potential, their life purpose, things like that, and if they just start going closer to that, the charisma will simply explode. So what I feel is that when I talk to these people, I feel like, well, you can be in your midst as long as you want, but if you want to live more charismatic life, then you should try to learn this, like how to really connect with this. So that is one myth of a lot of people thinking, well, I'm not born with it, so I can't do much about it. That's one, I contest that. The second myth is people think that charisma is a very much, it's like you have to impress someone with all your outside bling and gear and all that. What I feel is being outside a little bit more well turned out, a little bit more delicate to the tastes of the group, you know. So, like if you're going to meet the bankers and all and you're completely dressed like a hippie, maybe you can be a little bit sensitive there. But I feel in general, charisma has not so much to do with a lot of outside bling, a lot of outside mannerisms and things like that. It's a lot more to do with who you are inside and how much you're willing to express that authenticity. You know? And it's not so much to do with trying to impress others, but trying to say something which is of value to someone. You know? Because if you see people all around us, everyone is trying to impress everyone else. There is always this underlying need to look cool to each other. So I feel that sometimes we wonder, like, so who is noticing? You know? Because we are all trying to just like grab our circle of well-wishers or whatever. So what I feel is it's pretty human to want to be noticed, to want to be liked. But I think what makes a quality of natural charisma is when you start also looking at other people and start seeing what are their strengths. You know? Like I've seen, I was in some coaching courses and I had this teacher from Israel, and he was completely quiet. I think he was noticing us, he was noticing me, and he was completely quiet in these 2 days. And I just felt like he's a very deep soul. He's very, very charismatic in his own way. And then we had this 1 minute or 2 minute chat towards the end of the course, and he said something, what he noticed, and I thought, wow, you know, I mean, so what I'm saying is I felt that he was different. He had this charisma because he took the effort to really feel what is in the room, what is there in the world. I don't think he would have even bothered if, let's say, I wouldn't have even met him or something. So what I'm saying is charisma is a little bit to do with caring for like just your environment and not all the time wanting the spotlight on you. Very quickly, the 3 points which I said, let me go through it. So uniqueness, compassion, aliveness. All of this, I'm actually planning to now do seminars on each of these topics on charisma, but very quick, like an elevator pitch on what these three things mean. Uniqueness means a lot of us, we are, if you see a lot of people, although they do the standard stuff, education, whatever the society wants, a lot of people have something very unique in them. Everyone has something like that sweet spot, something where they're unique. It can be a little bit edgy. At times, a lot of people don't understand that. It could be sometimes people may say, oh, that's a little bit weird or whatever. But if we touch with that uniqueness, we start getting in touch with that quality of charisma. So what I feel is that when we see human beings who are a little bit different and who want to get in touch with their uniqueness, as long as they're not harming anyone in the society, I think we as a society should push them there instead of trying to keep them, and then we will have more charisma in the world. So that's one, uniqueness. Compassion is something which I said before. It's on these lines of compassion, which means just also noticing others and not just all the time want to be noticed yourself, which is very hard for most of us. Sometimes you have to really work on that for years to reach that yes, it would be so amazing if we can notice each other. I would say that's a little bit compassion. So also understanding what is others' goals, how can I support this, how can I contribute, So a little bit of this compassion, this helps a lot. That's why if you see some of the artists, they may be very talented, a lot of IQ, but you feel like in a way they're assholes, They don't have, And if you really, really look down, they don't have that quality of natural charisma. You feel, well, okay, fine, they're doing their stuff. But if you go to a monastery, you go to a Buddhist monastery, you see these monks who have been meditating for years and years, and something you feel like there is there, they connect. So I feel a little bit compassion on those lines. And then the third point is it's aliveness, and with that what I mean is to really ask yourself, what is going on with my aliveness? So if I'm in a project and everything is coming on top of me, my bosses I'm not happy, just to see like how long can it go on? Because it's good to be a little bit practical, pragmatic, but if you really make too many compromises on how alive you feel, you are in a way creating some obstacles to your charisma. So try to see what is not causing that aliveness. Maybe that conversation with your partner and you're not saying the truth, and now this is so all these things, relationships, work, some of this, what are the factors which are blocking the aliveness, that also then brings up. So I would say in a very brief, these are the 3 points, these are the takeaway message for this charisma, and the way I define it and the way I want to work more and more with people on this is uniqueness, aliveness, and the most important, I would say, if there's one, it's compassion. Thank you very much.